afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I thank each and every one of you for joining us today in celebration of our beautiful UC Merced. My name is Manar Ahmed, and I currently serve as the UC Merced's 19th Student Body President. I'm currently a third-year human biology major, but first and foremost, I am an older sister, a best friend to many, and the daughter of two amazing Bengali immigrant parents. It is truly a delight to be a student at UC Merced, and growing up just an hour south from here in Clovis, California, I knew that I wanted to pursue a higher education at an institution that not only cares, but is always striving to grow students who want to give back, especially to the Central Valley. It is now my privilege to introduce a special presentation celebrating 20 years of FIRST, combined with setting our course further for the future using artificial intelligence. Please join me in welcoming Chancellor Juan Sánchez Muñoz to talk about the future of UC Merced.
Thank you, President Ahmed, for that kind introduction. I would like to welcome everyone to the University of California Merced, State of the University. I stand before you in front of the future medical education building as together we celebrate 20 years of firsts, a milestone that should be commemorated with special members of our Bobcat community, like all of you. But first, before we go any further, looking forward to our collective future, I ask that we take a moment to reflect and turn back time to when UC Merced was just a dream.
Thought long and hard about
in the very near future,
Christina
another California city might come to mind. Our Tim Daly reports from Merced on the
UC Merced will be the first American research university to be built in the 21st century.
Having a campus here will be very helpful to the whole college-going state of the Central Valley. Can you imagine what it's going to be like with 1,000 undergraduates? This will be their place.
Merced has always been at the center of California, but today Merced is at the center of history.
You know, we want to raise the aspirations and show them all the possibilities. They're going to have just a wonderful opportunity to interact with these faculty, and that's going to open so many doors for them.
You're the ones that made it happen.
An accomplishment that was unimaginable at the outset will, looking back, appear inevitable.
Now, please welcome the actual Chancellor Juan Sánchez Muñoz.
Apparently, that's my walk-up song. And so we wanted to start with something forward-leaning, the AI avatar, and I think he wears a little too much jewelry and hair product. But we thought it would be a great way to begin. So thank you, President Ahmed. Manar has been wonderful. She's been a wonderful partner, and I think she just represents everything that all of you began more than 20 years ago. So a round of applause. So again, good morning, and we gather today at a remarkable convergence of past and present for UC Merced. 20 years ago, on a September morning, a group of pioneering students, faculty, and staff celebrated the convocation, as have you heard in the video, of the nation's first research university built in the 21st century, fulfilling a long-held promise to the Central Valley and to the state of California. In her opening keynote address, founding Chancellor Carol Tomlinson-Kesey told this young campus and guests just like you, which included 2 former governors at the time, that UC Merced resolved to reach the highest standards for education and innovation set by the University of California's previous 9 campuses. The Chancellor then, Carol then, knew, as I do now, that the people assembled to learn, to teach, to work, and to inquire at UC Merced have indeed been and remain categorically up to that high standard, up to that task. We have a colleague with us, Heather Nardello, our current Director of Financial Aid and Scholarships. She was a financial aid advisor in 2005, and she recalled, and quote, "Collaborations in those days happened across areas you wouldn't expect. It felt more like a family than work." It feels in this room right now more like a family than work. Jackie Shea, a member of that pioneering undergraduate class, the class that we refer to as the first class as the pioneers, is now a professor at UC Santa Barbara. And she describes the campus then as a playground for dreamers. Fast forward to today, to right now, and the dream is real. And never more real than today, and never more real than here in this room. UC Merced is recognized as one of the best institutions of higher education in the United States. It has achieved the nation's highest classification for research excellence. It is a standard bearer for comparable affordability, for access to world-class academic experiences, and for forging paths to the realization of productive futures for students from underserved backgrounds. As Bob Carpenter, and we had dinner last night, I saw Bob here earlier, and you saw him on the video, one of our university's first community champions, recently said to me over lunch here at UC Merced. We had lunch, and I asked him, "Bob, what do you, did we disappoint you?" He said, "We didn't hope this big. This is much bigger." Mr. UC Merced. We've reached this watershed moment because UC Merced's pioneering anything is possible spirit, all the people in this room and the hundreds who came before you, along with now more than 21,000 Bobcat alumni, have brought us here to this moment where we are. And this is why, as Chancellor of this magnificent university, I report to you proudly that the state of UC Merced is strong, is respected, and ascendant. Last month, U.S. News & World Report announced that we had entered the top 25 in its rankings of public universities. We are now 57th among all universities in the United States, both public and private. And let me put that in perspective. When we first appeared in the U.S. News & World Report ranking 9 years ago, we were 152nd. An improvement of 95 positions in just 9 years is extraordinary, or I might repeat, ascendant. Later in September, the highly respected Wall Street Journal placed our university 14th overall in ranking that emphasized student outcomes, learning environment, and diversity. And both U.S. News & World Report and the Wall Street Journal ranked us third this year for social mobility, which measures students' improvement of their economic and social standing through knowledge, skills, and opportunity. And this is truly one of the cornerstones of our mission in the Central Valley. It was one of the reasons that the campus was placed here, to offer students from the region the opportunity for the highest rigor and the highest return and the highest possibility in their lives, and by extension, their families' lives. UC Merced is redefining post-secondary excellence. We minimize cost to students through generous financial aid. We enroll and graduate a UC leading percentage of students from low-income families. And we give all students a host of opportunities to learn, to research, and to hone their skills for productive and emerging careers. We want them to be successful wherever they apply their skills, but particularly here in the Valley. And we are doing the good work. We've done so now for 20 years, and we'll continue to do so for another 120 years. In addition to being an academic powerhouse and a living blueprint for a 21st century research university, UC Merced is an incredible driver of economic and social advancement in the region and throughout California, not just here, but throughout California. A new study by Beacon Economics commissioned by the university affirmed that UC Merced economic impact now reaches over $1 billion annually in Merced County and nearly $1.4 billion annually statewide. That's not just in Merced County and San Joaquin Valley, that's the entire state. The study of the 23-24 fiscal year further revealed that UC Merced supports 1 in every 15 jobs in Merced County and more than 8,600 jobs across California. This is the force multiplier of the University of California. It doesn't just affect the region, it affects the state. And if you affect the state, you influence our country. For every person employed by UC Merced, nearly 1 additional job is supported elsewhere through supply chain and household spending. Investing in this enterprise helps people that you don't even realize are associated in different ways with the university. In Merced County alone, for example, the university generates $466 million in labor income, confirming its role as a significant economic driver in our community. And in addition, our research enterprise generates $158 million in state and output across the state and supports almost 700 jobs, doubling every research dollar into $2 of total economic activity. That's a tremendous return on investment. And we want to thank our state legislators who are here in the room for all of their investment. Thank you. This study highlights that we are far more than physically present in the valley. We are driving economic activity, creating jobs, and expanding opportunity and prosperity. And this fall, UC Merced admitted approximately 2,000 first-year and transfer students. At a memorably rain-soaked scholars, I'm not sure if they're going to show that picture. It rained. It was the first time it had ever rained on the bridge crossing. Menara and I were soaked. At a memorably rain-soaked Scholars Bridge ceremony, I welcomed new Bobcats to a vibrant body that is nearly 9,000. Carol said in her video, imagine this place with 1,000. We've exceeded her projections. More than 95% of today's Bobcats are California residents, which speaks to the purpose and the mission of the University of California to prepare the young people of the state. And we are certainly doing that here. Significantly, the percentage of students from the Central Valley is on the rise. 40% of our new students this semester are coming from the region. In addition, and that has grown in the time that I've been here. In addition, 65% of our new students are the first in their family to attend college. 65%. And 62% of our new students are Pell eligible. These are students that come from the most modest financial families. Modest in means, not modest in ambitions. I see Superintendent Peterson, we were talking about this on campus yesterday with leaders from across the area about how we work together, K through the PhD. The circumstances that we're born into shouldn't determine where we end up. Congressman Cuello said that. First year and transfer students say that they choose UC Merced not only for the world-class education, but for the ease of access to faculty and advisors. In a UC-wide poll, 2 out of 3 UC Merced students said that they knew one or more of their professors well enough to ask for a letter of recommendation. No other UC campus had any better results than UC Merced. When people ask, when they speak about giving qualified high schoolers a chance to thrive in a rigorous UC level environment, more and more are referring to UC Merced. We're fulfilling our mission as a world-class research institution of opportunity and of transformation, and we're doing it right here in the fertile San Joaquin Valley. Pause for applause. Everything that we plant it grows, and this campus included. Last month, UC Merced added Fresno Unified, the state's 3rd largest school district, to the Merced Automatic Admissions Program known as MAP. In addition, students from Fresno Unified can receive up to $12,000 in scholarship over 4 years at UC Merced. Our commitment to students from Fresno is further supported by commitments from friends and partners such as the Fresno Area Hispanic Foundation. I saw Dora and David here, right over here, which provides scholarships to attend UC Merced. Today, high school students in more than 40 high school districts can use the MAP streamlined application process if they meet UC qualifications. But the first MAP that we signed was here with Merced High School and Superintendent Peterson at El Capitan Auditorium, and it started with you, sir. The program is working. MAP applicants have increased tenfold since between 2022 and 2024. And listen to this, MAP students accepted to UC Merced follow through and register at a rate more than twice that of other potential students. We will continue to find partners and expand a program that is a win for young scholars, it's a win for UC Merced, and it's a win for California. Yeah. Our research community continues to influence the Valley, state, and beyond. Total research expenditures of $63 million in fiscal year 23 helped us earn the Carnegie Foundation R1 classification. We earned this conservatively 1 decade sooner than anyone believed imaginable. This is unprecedented. Is that your hands clapping, Priya? Okay. Let me join you. Thanks to the outstanding work of our faculty, I did see a few of our deans, Deans Goel and Dean Finlander, I believe. Thanks to the outstanding work of our faculty, which our deans support, of course, we expect that number to rise significantly in fiscal year 24's report. In fiscal years 25, UC Merced's research community attracted hundreds of research-based awards. 19 were for more than $500,000 and 6 for more than $1 million or more. I'd like to recognize a few recent faculty achievements, and as I often say, and I say this publicly and I say this privately, what we have and what we will accomplish cannot be done without world-class faculty who choose UC Merced. And I'll just take, And just a quick off-script aside. A few weeks ago, the University of California did something no other institution or country had ever done. It was awarded or associated with 5 Nobel laureates. 5 Nobel laureates. That's a Nobel a day for in a week, not including the weekend. It's never happened before. And this is the rarity and the exceptionalism of the University of California, of which we are a part. And so these are faculty in the University of California, and that is no small accomplishment. Professor Wang Du is leading colleagues from UC Merced and UC Agricultural and Natural Resources in transforming a parlier almond orchard into a lab that tests the ability of artificial intelligence to monitor and deliver precise amounts of irrigation water. Christine Isborn is leading multiple institutions, including Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory, whose director, Kim Budil, was here this week with her team visiting the campus in a study of helix-shaped molecules whose behavior could revolutionize solar energy, electronics, and quantum computing. The study is supported by a grant of $6 million from the U.S. Department of Energy. Professor Ryan Baxter led a project that provides evidence that under certain conditions, vaping marijuana can generate chemicals that destroy human tissue. Professor Baxter and his team are now studying vape cartridges to identify hazards and develop mitigation strategies. This is something that is affecting a lot of young people. Professor Deborah Lynn Potter has received $990,000 Early Career Award for her research on fungal structures, and the award is funded by the U.S. Army Combat Capability Development Command and the Army Research Laboratory. Professor Kara McCluskey is a co-PI investigator on a $1.9 million National Science Foundation Engineering Research Center grant. She is also the PI, the lead PI, on a $5.3 million grant from the California Institute for Regenerative Medicine. These are extraordinary awards looking at things that are impacting lives right now. In addition, over the past 3 years, Anna Nuremberg, Fung Fei Su, and Xuan Yang earned prestigious National Science Foundation Career Awards, which support faculty who are starting their academic professional journeys. Now, in our ecosystem, higher ed, an NSF Career Award identifies those that 20, 30, 40 years from now will be getting phone calls from Oslo. These are scientists whose work is of such an exceptional, unique nature. They're recognized with this career award because of where they think their career trajectory will take them. Today we have 20 career award faculty winners on our campus, the highest percentage of any faculty in the UC system. So, giving undergraduate students early access to that caliber of faculty and research is a signature advantage of UC Merced. 30% of our undergraduates move into graduate programs, and among R1 institutions, we rank second in the country of campuses that have Pell-eligible undergraduates. We perform well beyond anyone's expectations with students that come from modest circumstances and move on to careers, including graduate programs. In addition to confirming UC Merced's R1 status, Carnegie Opportunity, or what's called Carnegie Foundation, also announced this year that we were among its newest classifications. Carnegie is the foundation that awards the research classification. This year, they introduced a new classification called Opportunity Colleges and Universities. These are schools, about 478, that emphasize access to underrepresented or low-income students and who graduate them, and whose graduates earn significantly above expectations. In some ways, this was very much the blueprint of our campus. We are among only 21 universities nationwide that are R1 and opportunity colleges and universities, and only one of 3 in the state of California. There's only 3 in the state of California, and UC Merced is one of them. What that says is rigor, opportunity, prosperity. This is what the education here provides our students and their families. Every day we are nurturing future researchers, setting the stage for the next level of inquirers, building research momentum for the Valley, for California, and for the world. And we can't talk about research without looking to the future, without recognizing that seemingly every aspect of our lives now is being impacted by artificial intelligence. Your lives were impacted about 10 minutes ago with the video. At UC Merced, we choose to embrace these opportunities to improve how we conduct research, serve our students, and to serve our community. And we have several projects underway under the leadership of Vice Chancellor and Chief Information Officer Nick Dugan. I'll just mention a few. First is the Central Valley Accessible Research and Computation Hub. This project is funded by the National Science Foundation and led by our Office of Information Technology, but in partnership with Fresno State, Sacramento State, Stanislaus State. It will make high-performance computing and AI computing resources more accessible in our region. We held the first conference of this group on campus in March of this year, and the second is planned for March of 26. The university serves as a catalyst for convening on important issues that will affect the region, the state, and the country. Another part of our research community, pivotal to our mission, is of course the Agricultural Experimental Station. The project, commonly known as the Smart Farm, recently received $3 million from the state to expand its operation. We don't work alone on the farm. Nobody works alone. It's hard work. It's hard work on the farm. It's hard work. We work with partners, and this commitment demonstrates our collaboration with Merced AgTech Alliance, led by the Community Foundation of Merced County in partnership with Merced College, our wonderful colleagues and friends. I know Dr. Vitelli is not here, but I'll take a moment of privilege because so much of what we're doing here at UC Merced is in partnership, Jill Cunningham, with you and President Vitelli, and thank you. Just yesterday, as I mentioned earlier, we hosted Merced College, including obviously President Vitelli and Superintendent Peterson, and our K-12 partners to discuss the state of education in the region. Again, great universities are places of convening great ideas, and sometimes those ideas require energy and discussion and some disagreement, and we don't shy away from that. We bring people together, we say, here's the discussion, here's the debate, here's the disagreement, what are the solutions? Superintendent Peterson talked yesterday about barrier removal. How do we remove barriers? And so that's what you created here at UC Merced. Not just this learning environment, but this space to convene, to interact, and to solve. The Smart Farm conducts cutting-edge research that addresses pressing agricultural challenges such as drought, water, management, and sustainability. We talked last night with Congressman Cuellar, we talked about water several times, water. We collaborate with farmers, ranchers, and industry leaders to develop practical solutions, remove barriers, practical solutions. We've now appointed 7 faculty members to the Agricultural Experimental Station coming from the schools of engineering and natural science. And something that may not be clear to you, the Ag AES designation is applied to the land grant in the state, which is the University of California. It denotes special research and investments in ag. UC Merced, in the richest, most fertile, irrigated region of North America, was not an AES ag, and it's become an AES campus. And now we have faculty to do that work. Thank you. Beyond the support from the state and community partners, I offer a profound thank you to Christine Nemec Long, a UC Merced Foundation trustee. Christine has established in her name an endowed chair in agricultural technology, our first ag tech chair, our first, but hopefully this room, not our last. These investments are a vital step forward in helping our university become a leader in advancing research and innovation at the intersection of engineering and agriculture. And we're also building for the future. And the Promise Housing Project is on schedule for completion in fall of 26 with full occupancy in fall of 27. It got to be finished because we're going to have the students here, so we need those beds. The project will provide 488 affordable beds for transfer students and create a living learning community for scholars of similar pursuits. Its name refers to the Merced Promise program, which streamlines the transfer process for students from Merced College to UC Merced and more than a dozen other community colleges, including, I see my colleague, President Reina from Madera College here. And so this right here is an example of how we're growing. But I want to just take a moment of privilege because if you were driving up and you saw the cranes, that would, we are building the campus for the future. And the state has been incredibly supportive. The governor has been incredibly supportive. And our representatives, current Congressman, former Representative Adam Gray, and Representative Soria and Senator Caballero have been extraordinary, as well as former trustee Josh Becker. Every time I send him Senator Becker a message about our campus, he comes back with the happy love emoji. And so let me just take a moment to thank you. We are also completing the Field Education Research Center, which will provide shelter to students on tours and researchers studying the Merced Vernal Pools and Grassland Reserve. It's an open-air pavilion that allows people to comfortably enjoy the views and see the vernal pools while also protecting the pools from visitor traffic. Now, let me just say this because I see Roberts, Gray Roberts here and others, Mr. Cunningham and others. When I first arrived, they had talked about this commitment for something out there in the Virginia Smith Trust area barn where the tree used to be, sort of. And there was not much happening. And as I understood it, it was a commitment that the university had made to many of the people that stood up when Mr. Klotzbier was asking if you were part of that steering committee. And for me, it was a matter of integrity to follow through on the commitment. So I believe we are substantively completed with the construction out there of what we promised you. So I hope you feel as if the promise has been fulfilled. On the drawing board are plans for a classroom and office, very creatively called Classroom and Office Building 3. Preceded by 2 and 1. A wonderful naming opportunity. A project that calls for 50,000 square feet of instruction and office space, including a theater classroom, an asset. This theater here is something that the university and Merced does not possess. And this will be a wonderful enhancement to the campus to bring speakers, to bring performances, but not just UC Merced, Merced. And so we're very, very excited about this feature here. New spaces are necessary to give faculty and students the room to grow, to learn, and to be educated. This semester, we also began the second year of our university-wide honors program, an honors program at UC Merced for undergraduates. This program now has 152 honors students, including more than 100 admitted just this academic year. Nearly half of those new honor students are from the Central Valley. And 40% of these high-achieving, ambitious, impressive, magnificent young people are the first in their family to go to college. And so this spring, we'll host a first ever honors research symposium that spotlights their research activities and projects. I want to thank and congratulate Professor Holly Moyes, the program director, and to the students who chose UC Merced and its honors program to pursue their academic and professional goals. These are the things that we imagined and are now coming to fruition through your support, advocacy of our campus. And speaking of remarkable students, the San Joaquin Valley Prime Plus Medical Education Program welcomed its third cohort this fall. Okay, this is not AI generated. This is these students, all natives of the Valley, have embarked on an 8-year journey that progresses from their bachelor's degree at UC Merced to clinical training at UC San Francisco Fresno campus. The program's goal is to strengthen healthcare in the Valley by training physicians from the Valley to practice medicine in the Valley, right, Jay Mayhill, and stay in the Valley, right? At a ceremony for this year's new students, I said that the people of the nation, I said this then, I'll say it now, that the people in the nation's agricultural heartland, the Valley, deserve the world's best doctors. They deserve the people that feed America to have access to world-class health care. And so I thanked these students, I thanked their families for supporting their young scholars. The journey to that white coat, it's long, and very few get there alone. So their whole family are a support system to their success. So we're very, very excited about the future and the future of these young people. Again, this is now the third cohort of BS to the MD Plus program at Merced. Meanwhile, UC Merced's new home, thank you. New home for SJV Prime Plus is under construction and on schedule for completion in 2026 and activate, and it has to because we already admitted the students. So they I got a place to put them. And the medical education building will also house the Department of Psychology and Public Health. Public health is one of our fastest growing programs here. The Health Science Research Institute and a range of other general assignment and learning environments. And so while we're talking about medical education building, there are many opportunities for donors to mark their legacy by naming areas of the building. And we've had some wonderful people express an interest in this. Mr. Cashian from Fresno, of course, is naming the foyer as soon as you arrive to the building. I want to give special thanks to the generosity of Dar Chen and Cheryl Matsubura, who are supporting us because they believe in what we are doing and what we hope to accomplish in this building. A fund in their name provides multi-year scholarships to recipients who are committed to community service and have a demonstrated financial need or belong to a vulnerable population. In addition, in the medical building, we'll have a Chen and Matsubara family anatomy room to recognize their commitment. So we always want to thank our benefactors and thank Dar and Cheryl. We continue to expand our academic offerings so our students can stretch the boundaries of research and meet the challenges of an ever-changing workforce in undergraduate majors in disciplines such as aerospace engineering. I see Dr. Ashley Martini, who spearheaded that. In those kinds of programs, undergraduate majors included neuroscience, communications, and media, debuted this fall. And some of our largest enrollments were in these new programs, including in aerospace engineering. A year from now, we will add biochemistry. We'll also invite a track in pre-pharmacy emphasis. Some of you may not be aware, we already have a partnership with UC San Francisco's pharmacy program where we're sending students right now. And so we want to grow that so that the medical apparatus that we build together are not just physicians, it's pharmacists, it's nurses, it's other healthcare providers. And so it will dovetail nicely with all the things that we're talking about adding. In addition to those areas, mechanical engineering will introduce an emphasis on agricultural technology, strengthening our resolve to support the Valley's signature industry. Finally, new majors in accounting and business administration. I'm very, very excited. I don't know if Dean Ariola is here, but we're very, very excited about these new programs that we're incubating right now within the School of Social Sciences and Humanities, Accounting and Business Administration that will pave the way for a future Ernest and Julio Gallo School of Management here at UC Merced. We're very excited about that. And this fall, And this fall, Bobcat Athletics kicked off a new era with a full-time competition in NCAA Division II. Our first competition was women's soccer on September the 5th. A tie, which is sort of a win. Okay. I'm rounding up. Fall semester teams are taking on fellow members of the California Collegiate Athletic Association, a storied West Coast conference that includes most of the Cal States, like San Francisco State, Cal Poly Pomona, and Cal State Los Angeles. And so it's not just about being in the NCAA and Division II. We actually have 90 students that came to Merced as student athletes that might have gone somewhere else if we weren't in the NCAA. But it's also about exposing all of these campuses in the conference to UC Merced as a possible destination for their graduate education. So competition at the NCAA level means more opportunities for our student athletes, more exciting action for Bobcat fans, and more exposure for the university across the state of California. And to support our higher profile in intercollegiate sports, we launched the Bobcat Club, which we will grow into a network of alumni, faculty, family, and fans committed to providing resources to Bobcats as they pursue both their academic and athletic goals at UC Merced. And I'm proud to say, because I think I got the first email from Mr. Klotzbier, I was the first member. It was like this: write us a check, the first member of the Bobcat Club. And so I think I made a 10-year commitment, and I hope that many in the room will join me for that. And looking ahead, athletics is getting the Campos Field. And this was the night of September the 5th, our first competition, and we accept accepted this check. This is for an on-campus track and field facility, thanks to the generosity of the Campos Foundation. One of UC Merced's most dedicated partners. This $5 million gift from Marco Campos and Diana Campos Miller will help in the construction of the track and field facility, but also $2 million of the gift will also go for scholarships for students in STEM disciplines. And Marco texts often. He's a Broncos fan. They're in Colorado. He was very happy this weekend, and they had a good win. And he asked me to use that $2 million in scholarships as a challenge gift to see what I could do to get a match. And so these are the kinds of things that help us long term in terms of our efforts to bring support for our students. And philanthropy and community partnerships have fueled UC Merced's mission for 20 years, empowering students, advancing discovery, and strengthening the Valley. And that includes support from foundations, from government entities, from people who believed in our mission, including those in this room that helped literally build UC Merced. And so I'm pleased to announce that Keith and Jill Ellie, and Keith is right here at my table, Dr. Ellie, created an endowment with ongoing funding and a pledge of up to $2 million in support for UC Merced undergraduates. Now, I hope you don't mind, Dr. Ali, I'm going to say a little bit more about you. He asked me not to. Dr. Ali was the founding Vice Chancellor for Research and Graduate Dean. I'm not trying to put any pressure on you, Harant, who's our current Graduate Dean. And he also served, Dr. Ali also served as Executive Vice Chancellor and Provost from 2006 until his retirement in 2012. The Ali's endowment supports UC Merced's founding principle of a student-centered research university. So we want to thank you again, Keith and Jill, of course, and thank you for all of the founding faculty and staff and all that you've done to bring UC Merced to where it's at today. So thank you again, sir. So we appreciate the broad scope of philanthropic partners who include alumni just beginning to establish themselves in the world. And this is one more way that UC Merced is filled with pioneers. Some UCs have more than 500,000 alumni from a range of ages. One time, Mr. Klotzbier and I were on the phone. I won't mention the campus, Berkeley. And they said, I'm sure one of our 550,000 living alumni. I thought that wasn't necessary. You could have just said a lot. They have campuses have many alumni. The average age of our alumni is 30, and yet they choose to support their alma mater because they believe in their experience and what we're doing here. And so far, we already have 19 established alumni endowments, and we're working on 7 more. If you happen to be here and one of those alumni that set that up, please stand. Okay. There, hey. Thank you. So, the part you've been waiting for. In closing. Thank you. I offer more words from Chancellor Tomlinson Kesey. I never had the privilege of meeting Carol, but I've met many who knew her. And they talk about how driven and purposeful and deliberate she was, and how she saw what others don't. That kind of vision is a rarity. I hope when I ask people like Mr. Carpenter and others, have we fulfilled your expectations? Have we honored your vision? That they will say it's bigger, it's more. I hope that Carol would say that, and I hope that those that aren't in the room would feel that. Let me share with you something that I like. I deliberately invoke people like Carol and Steve Kong, and others, Dorothy, and that came before in this role, because I think it's important to remind ourselves that no one gets to this podium alone. And so, to remind ourselves of the vision and the ambition that created this impossible dream. I've read documents that refer to UC Merced as no small miracle. And all of you and all of your fingerprints are on that miracle. Congressman Cuello. So here's what Carol said. Our university will not be finished in 20 years, which is right now. Not in 50 years, not in many lifetimes, but let us begin. I am so very, very proud and honored of what we have become at UC Merced. I am in awe of what we can be with your support. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for being part of this campus history and its future. As my predecessor said 20 years ago, I will repeat again today, let us begin. Thank you.